Good morning, everybody. This is Christy. I am the Intimate Warrior. I thank you so much for stopping by. And as always, I send you love. Okay, so the other day, I think I briefly mentioned that I received a date. And I'm doing my best to give you proper information here. Now, if I can find my tabs. So upon doing some more research on this date, I went ahead and tried to find something that was going on astrologically throughout this time. Very interesting, very interesting. We will be having, and getting back to my page. So please be patient with me as I try to flip back and forth between pages here if I need to. First of all, I have been... Today I'm really foggy, extremely foggy, and extremely tired. I could probably sleep the rest of the day. And although I have been receiving some type of information, it's been very subtle and really quiet throughout the night. And like if I'm receiving one thing, of course I'm still feeling very grateful and very blessed. But ordinarily, I will be receiving, at least a handful, if not more, of information throughout my night. And if I create stillness throughout the daytime, I am still receiving then. But for my receiving, it's been very minimal compared. Now, I know that as a result of this quiet time, I see this and I understand it now as a testing period, but also a resting period, which tells me that there's going to be a major upgrade again, which is taking place again for myself at a faster rate, and for many of you who are at a more advanced level here. For those of you who are kind of beginning in your middle, you are still receiving things. The only difference is that, like, I know for myself, when I was receiving at a fast-paced rate, I saw them as hardships or lessons, okay, that I experiences, and early on, I really don't remember. I know I still saw them as opportunities. I was in that positive mindset really quick. One, because I had already began a health journey where your positive mindset is necessary. And I was already in that positive mindset as a result of my chronic pain associated with my auto accident and my immobility issues. I quickly, as I was trying to become healthy, I was already implementing positive mindset. So for me to be able to see my experiences as lessons and opportunities to be my greater self, it came quickly for myself because I was already in it. So for many other people, you may be receiving in the form of kind of a hardship or difficulty getting through this. So the dates I ended up receiving was April the 6th, 7th, and 8th. And I should have went back to double check. Yes, April 6th, 7th, and 8th. So during April 6th, 7th, and 8th, we're going to have the moon in conjunct with Saturn and Jupiter. On the 6th, Saturn is going to appear, and then on the 7th, Jupiter is going to appear, and they will be within the horizon prior to dawn. I think 30 minutes prior to dawn, something like that. I didn't spend too much time on their placements and in terms of like degrees and how far and how close they're going to be. They of course are not going to be as close as they were during the conjunction that we experienced back in December. But still, anytime Jupiter and Saturn come together, there is a major transformation that you're going to experience. When we are working with Jupiter, this is associated with tin. The goal of this is again about transforming energy and using it for its highest value. Tin can be transformed into and you guys really need to give me some of your love today. My brain is definitely very sluggish. And it's gotten worse throughout, not worse, but more so throughout. Tin can be transformed into silver, and via allowing Jupiter, being that is a very masculine energy, and you can transform it by using the feminine energy, which of course is associated with more loving concepts. The more loving energy, you add Mercury to this mix, or you get Mercury. And if we're also thinking about in terms of Mercury, Quicksilver, which is the process of transformation, so silver again. And when we're thinking of Saturn, which is associated with lead, you can turn lead into gold. This is how the cerebral spinal fluid, the cerebellum fluid, the brain fluid, the pineal gland, pituitary gland all work together and create this mixture. Jupiter in mythology is associated with Zeus, who was the god of the sky, god of thunder, and also is the representation of the eagle. I speak about the eagle and hearing the eagle often. And when you go to Saturn here, Saturn was the god Cronus, the father of the gods. Cronus was the first generation of Titans and overthrew his father Uranus. his mother Gaia gave him a stone sickle, which he used to castrate his father. Saturn is the god of wealth and liberation. Now let's see if I can find my other tab here. Well, so bear with me here. I just got a phone call that I had to take, and now I am trying to make up for where I left off at, that is. And I don't know. But the two cell salts that we're going to be dealing with here are silicon dioxide and calcium phosphate. My joints have also been a little stiff, mostly my right knee. Remember, I think in one of my videos recently, if I haven't posted it, please forgive me, I mentioned that the energy will come into our left side and back out to the right, which means our future is trying to come in, our body is testing it and seeing where we are and what we are ready for. Are we in resistance or receptive of it? So I ended up having some tightness behind the knee of my right knee a couple of days ago, which has now transferred to stiffness in my right knee. Did I say that? My left knee, behind my left knee was tender, to the point that I just felt like I had to continuously stretch out. So like it was pulling through my calf. Nothing was pulled though. It was just, I felt that type of pulling there. Now it is, for 2 days, it has been in my right knee. So when I'm going down the stairs, I definitely feel it. The purpose of silicon dioxide, which, you know, all of these things are created here by man, but everything is already within you. When you find that complete balance, and by raising the sacred secretion on a monthly basis, by, of course, being more mindful and stepping into love. Love allows the sacred secretion to flow naturally, and therefore there is nothing that you have to do other than have greater thoughts and greater emotions. Therefore, your vocabulary, what you speak about and what you act on, is going to follow that pursuit or that suit. And so silica, from what I have read, is that it's a that moisture packet that you usually get inside of anything that is a powder form, or even your pills, whatever it is. There's usually that little silica packet that says do not eat. Well, it keeps moisture and prevents things from clumping. So imagine that flowing throughout your body, your blood, everything is the moisture. So it's preventing that binding. And calcium phosphate, of course, is a part of calcium, though, but it's phosphate in forms of phosphate. This is if you deal with lots of muscle spasms, this assists in that, where it helps again with the blood proper flow. So the other one makes sure that there's no clotting, I guess, what I should have said, and calcium phosphate helps with proper flow. When our blood is properly flowing, of course, we're able to, which it means that our organs are continuously filtering out. Our kidneys are working properly. You know, our kidneys are essential to elimination. The heart, of course, pumps the blood. In the Bible, it talks about the heart and kidneys connection. So keep that in mind. You may feel a little stiff. You may not. Some people have symptoms, physical symptoms, and some people experience more emotional symptoms, and then some people will have mental symptoms. There's no right and wrong here. How we perceive things or take things in, or what's going on, how it happens, it's different across the board. Just like our taste buds are different, because we are all individuals. Therefore, we can experience something different, yet a bunch of us can be experiencing something very similar. And let's see, what else do I have to talk about here before I did want to mention that when it comes to, if I can find it, I think it's Saturn. Saturn helps us with puberty. Helps us, excuse me, I have lots of vocal changes, and yesterday I began having, out of the blue, because I haven't had that in a long time, my eyes became itchy. I know that this is a part, because the silver and gold is always going to be in relationship or upgrade our pineal and pituitary gland, which of course, and the and I forget that nerve that connects with the eyes. I mentioned it in one of my other videos, and so forgive me for not having the correct wording today, as I am very foggy. I'm very tired today. So the eyes, yesterday, my eyes began to itch terribly, and I began to purge. My sinuses were purifying themselves, and so now my vocal cords are also being, because now it's going to be your endocrine system, as well as your lymphatic system that can be affected here. The flow. Okay, so the blood is being upgraded, but also the endocrine system and your organs, because the blood flowing is going to create flow throughout your body. So Saturn, being that it helps with our puberty. Now this is puberty, of course, when we go through our baby from being a child. Of course, we're growing, and then to an adolescent, that type of puberty as well. But then there's the spiritual puberty that we are going to go through. In Saturn, at a certain age, there is a certain age group where Saturn connects and triggers you to become more spiritually minded. If you are within the ego, you don't learn this lesson. If you step into the heart, you do. When we are dealing with and here's my husband again, so okay, I'm so sorry about that, everybody. I forgot to put my do not disturb button on this morning, and so now the calls are coming in. And anyway, so Jupiter is going to work with our heart, although it's not really associated with our heart, because it's working with understanding and loving. Well, it's working with loving kindness. And Saturn is working with understanding. It takes a loving kindness of the heart, the loving kindness of the heart. So we have to be using our heart in order to understand something from a different perspective. This is when we are using the overall soul connection and spirit connection instead of the ego. And of course, we know that the moon is going to be affecting us here. Anytime the moon is working is in association with our root, therefore how we are in relationship to our earthly living, also working with our emotions. So if we are being triggered throughout this time, or you can be triggered throughout this time because your emotions, dealing with water, and it's important to have that stop, that pause there, come back to the heart, and allow the sacred secretion, that alchemical process to take place, so that we are properly allowing that sacred secretion to rise and do its transmutation or transformation process within us. And I'm trying to double check and see if there's anything else. I know there's something else, but you know, here I am just not I guess I'm going to leave it at this. I think I have done a good job at getting this out properly. I did find it interesting, before I let you go, that when if I can find it here, the story about Jupiter, though, is that OPS is the wife of Saturn. Saturn wanted to do everything within his power and prevent his child from being born. Excuse me. And Ops wanted to protect her child, of course, which was her 6th child, and it was Jupiter. So Ops hid the baby and wrapped Jupiter in swaddling clothes, and wrapped a stone in swaddling clothes, and Saturn thought that the stone was actually Jupiter, swallowed him whole. And so Ops was taken away and saved. So that being very similar to the story of Jesus, and how the story continues here that I was reading. There's also a portion in Revelations where the dragon is waiting for the baby to be born again to swallow the child up as well. So I found that very interesting, and I thought I'd go ahead and share that with you before I say goodbye. So, of course, as things come in, I will gladly give them to you. A lot of us are, like I said, at this higher end. And the April 6th, 7th, and 8th is more significant for myself, other than what I'm telling you about Jupiter and Saturn. Because my birthday is at the end of the month, April 23rd. And I told you that in order to accumulate all of the cell salts, the reason for it is because we are within the womb 9 months on an average, unless you're born early. And of course, nowadays, the children are being born at 40 plus weeks or something like that. It's not the same time frame as what they said a long time ago. So when I went and calculated the 23rd and how many days remained, So including the 23rd, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 days, including the 23rd. Because I believe I was born early in the morning. I don't actually know my birth time. So going to April the 6th, beginning of April, of course, to April the 8th. Of course, that's 8 days. So that makes up the difference from April the 23rd to the 1st of May, of course, not including May the 1st, is 8 days. Therefore, I need the minerals associated with those signs, and or up until that first week is what I need to acquire. And that's also what you will need towards your end phase. How do you know you're at the end? You're going to know. There's something in the Bible that I didn't look today. And of course my wording is going to be my own phrasing as best as I can today anyway. That you will not know when Christ will come until Christ has come. But thankfully, I am very, very, very blessed to be able to know my journey and to be able to give others an idea about their journey in relationship to what is taking place astrologically and what I am receiving. Because a lot of us are going through the same process together. Because we all need the same cell salts, and it's all taking place at the same time. We're all just born different. We're all born at a different time within a different sign. So when I end, you may end in 2 more weeks. Someone else might end in 3 more weeks. Someone might end or accumulate all 12 cell salts, is what I should be saying, within that time frame. So I hope this helps. And again, as I receive more information, I'm gladly going to give it to you as best as I possibly can. This is Christy. Much love, health, and healing your way. I am bringing purpose to your life. Take care.